say? Take this pants and long sleeve off. Who bought the candy? All right, who's buying the candy? Halloween. These are real good. They're kind of sour a little bit. I don't know what these are. I haven't had these. These are gummies. There's something else I had. The Nerds. These are sweet. Right in there. Those are good. Like I said, these are real good. A little sour, not much. I had 2 of those already and 2 of the other ones, I think. That's all I can have today. Oh, I had one of these. I used to eat these all the time. I shouldn't have bought candy. This is my nemesis. But it is Halloween. And I am still training. I have no intention of actually stopping this year. I think I'm going to go right into 2025. I might do a little lightweight for a while. And just kind of, just doing conditioning, I think. Can you see that? Of course you can. So you put this in front of you. Oh my God, it's bright. Is that, can you reduce that? Turn it off. So I think I need to do it in my bedroom at night. I got it about 2 weeks ago. I haven't even started using it yet. Everybody's doing it now, and supposedly there's a little bit of science behind it. It reduces wrinkles and has some other benefits as well. I got to look it up again, but I just decided to get this. Is a little powerful one, man, and it's small, so it's really just for your face. So a lot of the music that there's a lot of music. I'll put a video up sometimes, and if there's a copyright conflict, and I can't use it, and then they edit out the sound, and then video's unwatchable. But if you do a cover of the same song, you're okay. At least in the United States. In some places they still block it, but I don't know where. So this website here, this is a YouTube channel. I use her. They do a lot of covers, and she's an incredible singer. They're an incredible band. They have a lot of, let's see here, some of the more popular ones are, here we go. This is some of the more popular ones. Gotta like the hair. Oh, hold on. Yeah.
Where is the piano box?
Huh?
Where is the piano for the electric box?
I'll show you right here. So this is the way I get to it. So it's gonna be a 15. But I don't know which one. Could be that one. Could be that one. Could be that one.
Okay, I take the 1 for 1, or what do you think?
Well, let's try that.
Go see the...
Yeah. I got 3 of them off. Oh, I hope I didn't turn off. Shit, did I just turn off my computer? I gotta turn a couple back on. Because my freaking computer went off. So I'm going to try this one. until my computer goes on. I don't think that's related to the backyard. You gonna eat that? Oh, it's back on. I think. That red light's on. Let's see. Computer. Oh, it's on. Ha ha. Let's see if your room is on. It probably is. Because it's connected. They share a common wall.
Yeah. What are you doing?
His won't be on. You're not going to have power for a little while, Kev.
Hey, Kev.
All right. Back online. How about the modem? Is the modem back on already? Well, that would be quick. Let's see. Hey, you know, the modem would be reset. Should be faster. Ooh, it is. Restore pages? Yeah, restore. Look at that. Nice to have a modern computer. Right back to where I was, man. Didn't miss a beat. Here we go. This chick is awesome, man. I forget her name. She's incredible. Got it up. She's got it all going on. The looks, style, everything. Voice, the band. I'm sure they do a lot of editing. I love that song. But I love Dolly Parton. I love Dolly Parton. I saw her in Florida. Oh my God. Dolly Parton. American icon. So let's see what we got here. Whoa. We got a little boob action on this one. See what I mean? She's a little heavy though. And she looks a little short. That's okay. I'm only 5'10", so we fit. I'm in my dreams. Maybe another life. I could listen to her forever. Yeah, the TV is a good idea. Somebody commented the TV is a good idea. That's a cool little thing. You see that amp in there, that little old Fender? I think that's a little Champ. I have one of those from the 70s. I gave it to my, no, that's probably a reissue. I have the original. I gave it to my grandson. And he's taking guitar lessons, and the guy came over, and I gave him an electric guitar. I gave him a Fender, Stratocaster, and I gave him that amp. And it's an old tube amp, and I rebuilt it. And the guy came over, he said, "Oh, we can't use that amp. That thing's worth a fortune. You got to just keep it tucked away in the corner. You don't want to use it." Unbeknownst to him, I got it totally rebuilt, and I am an amp tech. I built them from scratch, and I built a lot of them. I mean, I got them all. They're mostly they're all in storage now, or mostly. I got a couple in the closet, but I got a lot of them are just chassis with no boxes, they're not in anything, a cabinet or anything. But I've got speakers galore. I got the whole thing, man. I went down the rabbit hole with that. I mean, I went down the rabbit hole. I was designing circuits, the whole bit. I think I was doing that I started in 2011. And self-taught through the internet. And, man, did I get into that stuff heavily. Most of my hobbies, once I got really up there with them and I got to a point where I really got to I reached a pinnacle in my own self. Okay, I've got this down now. I really know it inside and out. At that point, a lot of times my interest gets piqued, and then it kind of just it's like going up over the crest of a hill, and then I go down the backside, and I start looking for something else to focus on. I was lost for a while, fiddling around. Well, I had a girlfriend, and so that was like a hobby. That occupied a good amount of my time. Not that much, but so that was exciting for a while. For about 3 years, for 2 years, it was really exciting, and then it kind of started to slow fizzle. And I think it lasted around 3.5 years, and then she gave up. And I wore her down. She gave up on me. I just kind of told her I was I'm not interested anymore. And that, you say that to a woman, man, that's, you're done. So I shouldn't have said that because, I could have just wrote it out a little bit longer. But, oh well. She still contacts me. So she's kind of still out there in the wings. I think she's waiting for me to say something. But kind of like being like, how you doing? Just checking in, that kind of thing. But and she's a really nice person. But, I'm not going to go anywhere with that. And then, so that, anyway, that fizzled out. And then the content creation thing started. And it started out of a need. Well, first of all, of a desire. Without the desire, I'm not going to start anything. So there was a curiosity and a desire to learn, and then it became to where I needed something. I needed a hobby. I needed to put my time and energy into something besides working out. And I just never thought that I could do anything with that. But now but I watched other people and I thought, well, what do they have? I don't know. They're entertaining to watch and all this and that, but I don't see anything special about them. It's just human curiosity and entertainment. And so I thought, well, maybe if I can make some things that are entertaining and not, super long videos and not dramatic and not, just give things to lift people up or get them excited or show them, what I'm doing at my age, the things that I'm doing in my life, how kind of give them a little insight into my life. I didn't think that would be popular, and it's not really that popular, but it does have an interest to some people. So I have both a YouTube channel with, and it keeps climbing. I got like 100 and something. I haven't checked it. Every so often I get a notification I got a new subscriber. I think I got 170. Well, let's go to my channel. I have, how many videos do I have? Let's see. I'll show you my channel. So here's my videos. So about everything that goes on Facebook goes on YouTube. Just about. And on YouTube, I'll do a longer version most of the time. Not all the time. But a lot of the times, I'll do maybe a 20-minute video. And sometimes no music. But lately, I've just been pretty much just putting on what's exactly on Facebook. And in Facebook, if I try not to go past 11 or 12 minutes. And sometimes 4 to 6 minutes is ideal. Because people are not on Facebook to watch a long, drawn-out video. I mean, but if you give them something exciting, and they already are following you, or they know you, and and they like you or interested. Oh, what's he doing? That kind of thing. I mean, I do that to people all the time. A lot of people just post pictures, but if somebody posts a video, I'll automatically click on it. I don't know what it's going to be, but I'm curious right away. Like, oh, a video. Is it? We're going to see your house, and we're going to see some family members. You're going to see some interaction. Because that's how you get to see into their people's lives a little bit. If it's not rehearsed, a picture doesn't really do much. It's like, oh, we're on vacation. Oh, okay. I mean, that's interesting for you to look at later on and reminisce. Like, oh, remember when we went here? Oh, look at this. But other people don't really nobody looks at your pictures. If I posted a bunch of pictures, people aren't going to look at it and say, oh, how cool, how interesting. It's just like, oh, yeah, there's Tom sitting next to a statue or something. It's just not that interesting. But if I'm interacting with my workers or my family, or if I'm working out, and I think there's a little more interest in that. And I try to do some themes as well. I mean, they're rudimentary, you know. But at least I try to get the music matched to it, and then some of it's emotional, a few, but I don't want to get. I try not to get really dramatic. Most of it's just it's a 5 minute video you're watching, and the workout is at least 30 minutes, but usually 45 minutes to an hour. But who's gonna watch that? Nobody. Especially with all the rest periods in between. So I try to do the intense sets where I'm warmed up already, because the warm up sets are really kind of boring, unless they pertain to a theme, like a build up. But it's got to be fast paced. I realize it's got to be, because I watch it myself, and I'm like, I watch it with a very critical eye, because I don't like watching myself. For number one, I just don't like watching I'm uncomfortable watching myself. I'm uncomfortable in front of a camera, and I always have been. I'm just uncomfortable in the spotlight. But I have fought that. I pushed past that. I don't want to live my entire life in anonymity anymore. Like, I was always, I would be the clown and the funny guy when if the camera wasn't on me, so to speak, in my comfortable surroundings with a group of people. But you put me in a strange setting, like a large party where I don't know a bunch of people or something, or an event, and I used to clam up, and I spent a long time overcoming that. But some of that also was the trauma I had with my home life with my son and everything, where I was broke down emotionally, and I was pretty much like suffering from PTSD. From It's a long story, but I'm not going to get into it. But there was, maybe someday I'll explain it a little bit, talk about it a bit more. But it is very personal. The journey that I took with my family and with my sons, one son in particular, both sons really, and then and the journey with myself, and my living a large part of my life with low self-esteem, and always doing well, and always pretty crafty, and I built really nice furniture. I did a lot of things, but I never felt I just still never felt like I was enough. Like everybody was better than me. Oh, that's a terrible way to feel too. That's a terrible way to live your life. That everybody's better than you. Well, first of all, you need to stop comparing yourself to other people. That's the first thing I had to learn. And I knew, when you know that, but you still can't learn it. Just one day, not one day. The turning point of my life came late. The turning point of my life came in 2000. Well, it started in 2013, but the real change was about 2016. And that's not that long ago. That's 8 years ago. Is when I completely reset my brain. And by resetting, I mean, it's not like I rebooted it. I just changed the way I think and the way I feel and the way I look at stuff. And it all had to do with my health. Well, it has to do with a lot of things, but it was the 3 years from 2013 to 2016 when I thought I was going to die from my heart. And when I was told I needed to have a triple bypass, and I overcame that. That is what triggered me. That's what reset me. That made me rethink everything, and I became empowered. And after that, I built on that, and I'm still doing it. And so while I am who I am. I feel like I've lived 3 or 4 different lives. I've been 3 or 4 different versions of myself. I think we can all relate to that. But this version I like most. And that's good because I'm in it. So it's good that that I'm enjoying this version of myself. I'm it's enjoyable to be me, if that makes any sense. I like myself. I totally accept myself. I totally know that I'm a good human being. I no longer have those self doubts. And what that's done is it's made me look at everything in a different light. So I look at the way I look at politics, the way I look at policing, the way I look at the justice system. Now I'm critical of everything. Whereas before, I was just a conformist, like a lot of people. You just go along. And like when we celebrate holidays, it's 4th of July and you light off fireworks and you cook hot dogs. Nobody's really thinking about what the holiday is really all about. It's just lost. And why are we celebrating it so much? It's just become a ritual. Like, oh, time off from work. That's really what people think about. And have some beers and hot dogs and then feel like shit. I mean, I look at all that stuff like, what the hell what are we doing on those days? Like, what is that? A day to get sick? A day to eat more crap? I mean, where's the health day? Where's the be critical of your government day? For me, that's every day. So I've had a lot of experiences with Social Security, with dealing with my son and stuff, and other things like that. And I find out that they're just a freaking bunch of corrupted assholes. I mean, the people that work there they are abusive. They're not servants. They believe that we're serving them, and not all, I guess, but I I could tell you stories about it. How, every time you turn around, somebody's trying to screw you. My workman's comp insurance company, every freaking year I get audited, they're trying to fuck me out of money. Every year. One year, almost 10 grand. And if I didn't know what was going on, I'd just be like, oh, okay. But I play hardball with them. They think I'm some kind of lunatic. Well, borderline. Because I get on the phone and I tell I basically tell them, ram it up your ass. I'm done playing Mr. Nice Guy when they're trying to screw me. I'm not, if you're trying to screw me and screw my family over, then you're not a good person, and I'm going to treat you as such. That's I'm kind of like that now. I'm not kind of like that. I am like that now. And I find when you put your foot down and you tell them this, you ain't taking none of their bullshit, no matter who it might be. People wake up. They open their eyes get wide, and they're like, "Oh shit! Okay, we got a live one here. This guy ain't going away. This guy ain't backing down. This guy knows what he's talking about. We can't bamboozle this guy." And it doesn't matter what it is and who you're dealing with. If somebody's trying to screw you and you call them out on it, I mean, you can't threaten people and you can't be a lunatic, but you can tell them you can tell them that you're not taking their shit and that you're going to report them. I always make a lot of threats. I'll report you here, report you there. I report government organizations to the heads of the government of that particular organization or administration. Like I ratted out my local Social Security office to the headquarters, which is in Maryland, and they came down on them because I was right. If I was wrong, they wouldn't have done anything, but I was right. And they were trying to strong arm me. They were trying to make me pay some money back for my son, and I'm the one that would be paying it. And they wanted me to pay a bunch of money back, over $4,000, and they wouldn't even itemize it and say where they found that money. And it turned out that a good portion of it was an error. We didn't know it. But they refused to audit themselves. And it wasn't until I got a hold of Maryland and they were on it too, man. I was surprised at the response I got. And all of a sudden I got a call from the woman that heads the local office here. She goes, "Oh, we're trying to work with you." And I told her, I said, "No, you weren't." At that point you're supposed to be nice and play along like, "Oh yeah, okay." And she was making believe like, yeah, we looked into it, and so I looked into it, and yeah, we were trying to work with you, and I'm like, lady, no, I've got all the letters I sent, I got all your correspondence, nothing but threats. No, you weren't. No, you were not. And those people are underneath you. You were not trying to work with me. This is why I called Maryland. This is why they got a hold of you. And this is why that you're on the phone with me, some peon who you normally wouldn't give the time of day to. So let's not play games. Now, here, this is what I want. And then, of course, they, and that's when you know you got them. And they sent all that stuff. I did the same thing with Food Max Corporation, which is Food Max. My son worked at Food Max, or Food for Less. We had to take it to an administrative law judge. They had their attorneys there. It was just me and my son, and we did it through Zoom, and we beat them. And even though we were right, I thought we were still going to lose, but we beat them because I did my homework, and they didn't do enough homework. They did not do their homework because they're so used to bullying people over. They didn't think I'd be prepared at all. And they knew I had no representation because when you do, it's going to be disclosed. So they know, oh, he doesn't have a lawyer. He's just it's going to be the employee and his dad. Whoopee. You know, we'll just walk right over them. And they weren't even prepared. Well, they really had nothing anyway. And so the judge was very impartial, and she ruled in our favor. And that gave me a little bit of faith in right there in government. But you know, it never should have got that far. And you know who was pushing it and made it go to the administrative law judge because they were demanding the money? The Employment Development Department. They were harassing us and sending us threatening letters for restitution on behalf of that company. They were representing the corporation against us. They never even asked for our side of the story. Oh, they sent this little thing out asking all this personal information and financial information, page after page after page, a bunch of stuff that was unrelated to the unemployment case. And I refused to fill it out. I sent it back. I just sent them a letter. So we're not filling it out. I'm not giving you all this personal information, and I'm definitely not giving you my financial information. You know, we're dealing with my son here. They wanted my financial information. Just, you know, if you don't know any better, you know, you fill it out. Goes in their data banks. Then of course they get breached, or they use it. You know, any information you give the government can and will be used against you. So just keep that in mind. They're not your friends. First and foremost, they're not your friends. You are basically a suspect to them. And I know that sounds really cynical, but we are suspects when it comes for the IRS, the police, the sheriff, the FBI, whoever it might be. We're suspects. They're not going to contact you to say, how's your day? They're going to contact you to say, how's your day? Because they're investigating you. The IRS doesn't contact you to say, hey, doing good. We're going to lower your taxes. You're a great guy. Now, you get something from the IRS, it's like, oh, shit. You know, obviously, immediately your heart rate goes up. You know, they're a criminal organization. They are revenuers. Plain and simple, they're revenuers. It's exactly what they are. The government is a bunch of revenuers, and the politicians are living off that revenue. And everybody is. The cops are making $150,000 to $225,000 a year with all their overtime that they write in. They don't punch nothing. They write it in, and they're all cheating. They're all in on it. You know, open your eyes, people. We're getting ripped off. The cop's sitting in his car on his phone. God, you know, playing around like we would play around. Maybe even on overtime. And all he's got to do is just empty his ticket book. He can do that in a few days. They go hot and heavy on an area in a few days, and he could write 50 tickets, 75 tickets. And he can just coast for a week and not do shit. Yeah, that's how the game is played. That's why sometimes you see cops and they're like, oh, he's cool. He's not doing nothing. Yeah, he wrote his tickets. Now he's just cruising. Probably listening to music. You know? Believe me, he wrote his tickets. He ain't one of the guys that don't write tickets. Because there isn't one of those guys that doesn't write tickets. If you're a cop and you're not writing tickets, you're not going to be a cop. You're a revenuer. Get out there and revenue. Fill them coffers. And so the serve and protect is bullshit. First of all, the Supreme Court has already ruled their job is not to protect the citizens. That is not their job to protect. And the reason they ruled on that, so you can't sue them, they can't be liable if they don't protect you. There's a video on YouTube. The freaking cops pulled somebody over, and the cop pulled up to and stopped on the railroad tracks, took a woman out of her car, handcuffed her, put her in the back of the car, and a fucking train came and smacked the fucking car. The fucking people, man. And you know what? She didn't get any trouble. Qualified immunity. Oh, it was an accident. Yeah, you tried doing that. You got manslaughter. I'm not sure. She may have survived, but, obviously. Is she going to ever be normal? No. So, YouTube is filled up to the brim with cops violating our rights. So, the barrel of apples is rotten. You can't be a good cop in a group of 10 bad cops. It wouldn't last. You got to go along, man. Cops don't turn other cops in. They're all the sovereign citizens. Welcome to the club. They're in the club and we're not in that club. When they go out every day, they're looking at us as victims, potential victims, suspects, cash cows. Cash cows. Oh, you didn't come to a complete stop. That will cost you $225 and a point on your insurance, a point against your record. For what? Because my tire was rolling still a little bit and nobody else was at the four-way stop. Follow him around. See what he does. See if he stops. All day, they have no conscience. All day long, they'll write you the tickets for the same things that they do all the time. And who cares? There's no victim. Who cares if you didn't come to it? You pull out from a Safeway parking lot or, grocery store parking lot. And the law is you have to stop, look both ways, and go. I shouldn't say nobody. Most people will, if they see that the road is open, they'll jump at it because the traffic's so heavy. I gotta, there's a red light over there. There's no cars coming. Boom, I gotta get out onto the main drag right now. You get written up for that. You can get written up for that. Who did you hurt? Who is the victim? Is the state of California a victim? Look at it like that. What a bullshit thing for a cop to pull. Even if it is the law. A cop should look at that with a discerning eye and say, well, fuck, man. Guy's got to get out in traffic. There was nobody around. He slowed down and he pulled out like everybody does. And, they could write you up. You could be the best driver in the world. Cop could follow you for 5 miles and he will notice some type of infraction. Because the way the laws are written, you can't go about your day without causing some type of little infraction. There's just way too many laws. And they have discretion to write you up on any one of those. You basically could get written up every day. And you can. Imagine that. Imagine the unlucky guy gets 3 or 4 tickets within a month. He's just unlucky. Then he goes to court and the judge says, you must be a shitty driver. And the DMV says, we're going to suspend your license. And there he is, man, stuck. So, I'm sorry, man. It's fucked up. It's a fucking mess. This government of the people and by the people, we fucked this thing up. It's a fucking mess. And how are you going to fix it now? How are we going to fix it? What are we going to do? Move up on a fucking hill somewhere in another state where, you don't have a neighbor for 20 miles? You can't hide. What are we going to do? We fucking let this fucking shit get out of control. And it is out of control. And I don't give a shit who goes into the White House. Nothing's going to change. The deficit's going to get larger. The bullshit's going to get deeper. The swamp's going to get bigger. And the country's going to get more divided. So with that, I'll leave you to have a good day. So, okay, I got that off my chest. Now I feel so much better. All right. Stay strong, guys. Stay strong. Well, guys and girls, stay strong. Get smart. Stay tuned. Stop idolizing your politicians. They're not special. We're special. All right, bye.